Hello again, Jim Dowson here, guest presenter with the Templar Daily Report, and I hope it's finding you wherever you are in the world well, not only in body but mind, and more importantly in spirit. So there you go. Hope you're all well. Got some good stuff for you today. It's lousy here today. I was up all night because I actually sleep in a wooden shed. I know that sounds bizarre, but I do. I sleep in a wooden shed. I'm comfortable there. I like it. It's my redneck blood. It's my hillbilly blood. I don't know what it is. But I've got a very nice house, but I don't like it. So I tend to stay in the shed. Now the brother's going to turn that around every minute when he can. And I'll see who's in the room. Who have we got? Can I see that? Oh, dear. A wee bit bigger, brother, because I'm not, the age is catching up with me. I can't see. That's it. I can see roughly there. Bartley Burker, how you doing? Nice to see you. Jim Young, Uncle Paddy. Don't know him. How you doing? You're welcome. I like your picture. Les Androkovich, very good. You know, it's funny that I love icons. Yes, I'm a Presbyterian, but I like icons. I've got to tell you that. My wife won't let them in the house. Yeah, but I love them. John Andrews, Lady Rotha, good evening. How are you, Lady Rotha? Gary Hardwick, nice to see you. Jonathan Bedeen, God bless you. You're a good man, Jonathan. Thanks for that offer yesterday, but you do enough for the order, so it's no problem. EMS Rejuvenation, Christopher Makoka. Yes, how are you? Nice to see you. Galveston's been evacuated. Why? Hold on. Why is it? A hurricane? Yeah, I think we've got one here. Burt Myers, nice to see you. Tara Templeton, howdy partner. Alex Catterall, nice to see you. Rainey, aye. William Mumford, nice to see you. What's this? Did anyone see Ratko Mladic appeal? Nope, none ever. Paddy Moriarty, nice to see you. How you doing? Anyone notice the voodoo doll of Niall McConnell and RT Angelus? Aye, well listen, the devil doesn't kick a dead body, brother. And the fact that RT, the national broadcaster, is attacking our good friend, the big Niall McConnell, the Irish patriot, is brilliant. It's fantastic because it shows you he's kicking the devil's people hard, and that's the type of people the Templars like to associate with. Fierce warriors for Jesus. So God bless him and God protect him. Stephen Carden, nice to see you. Antonio Rebello, God bless you. Tara, where am I? Oh, wait a minute. John Wilmot, yep, John Wilmot. I've seen John Wilmot there. Nice to see you. Tara, I've seen Tara Templeton. Good to see you. Yes. Christopher Stride, how are you, brother? Nice to see you. William Petit from West Virginia, my good friend. God, he's a clever man, that, you know. Paul Telford, how you doing? Scott Rash, no belt today. Who else have we got? Let me just see. Robert Erickson, God bless you, brother. Nice to see you. Neville Walker, how you doing, Nev? Nice to see you, Nev. Hope you get that Bible soon if it's gone. Naomi Ford, nice to see you. Troy Otto, Malcolm Cook. Yep. Mark Anthony Smith, God bless you. Joseph Taylor, how you doing, Joseph? Good to, you're a man of great passion. Nick, how you doing, Nick? Nice to see you. Joseph Brooks for England. Michael B from Alberta, Canada. And the big McConnell's in the room, the Donegal man. Brian Payton, Florida. Chris White. Who else have we got now? Nails, I can't pronounce that, but you're from Belgium. You're more than welcome. Kevin Butler, how you doing? Frank Bukovic, how you doing, big Frank? Nice to see you, my brother. Elliot Lamb, nice to see you. Greg Howarth, how you doing? Nice to see you. Good. TT Foley, good man himself. John Westall, nice to see you, John Westall. I think I know who you are, John. You're welcome in the room, brother. Stuart Duncan, Edward Tobler from Virginia, Naomi Ford, Ken Bunyan, how you doing? Now, there's Marty. I can never pronounce that second name. Dissident Celt, good to see you as well. Aye, and Angus Gibson, how you doing, Angus? Nice to see you. Michael McGuffin, nice to see you. Jerry Smith, Bruce Samuelson, Stephen Carden, Stuart Bowden. Aye, there's Jim Young, Distant Celt. See it? Okay, that'll do us now because time's pressing on. Let me start us today with a wee tiny bit of scripture. Remember, I'm doing this study in James, so if you want to catch up with the actual Bible study in James, join us in the Sunday service. I'm going through it. It's a brilliant book. Remember, like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, comment below. And above everything else, share. Share, because the big clampdown's coming again. And remember, if anybody hasn't done so, you need to subscribe to our democracyforum.online. 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 It's a platform that they cannot take down. We're on there. Who else is there? A few other folk in there. Nick's there. McConnell's there. Jada? She's in the process. In the process of being there. So it's all the good, proper Christian right-wingers are there, and it's quite a safe platform. So you need to follow us there, because YouTube, who knows how long that's going to last. It is. It's the home of the deplatformed Christian right. We don't want any atheist rights or these libertarians. No, they're no welcome. Just our good, solid people. Whether you're Irish, Scottish, and by the way, before I go and read this wee bit of scripture, if anybody hasn't seen it, I don't think we have pictures for it, but you want to have seen the Big McConnell and the Sean the Heron boys at Michael Collins' memorial on Sunday. It was spectacular. It's many years since I've seen people like that. It was a display, and I say this as a northern man, it was a wonderful display of Fenianism in the true sense of the word, because here's the deal. We either get together and deal brother to brother and shoulder to shoulder with the Fenians, or the commies and the liberals and the green-haired brigade of trans will wipe us out. Simple as that. Simple as that. Aye, if any of you boys are watching, could you WhatsApp us a couple of the pictures so we can show the people? Because I want to show the people what he's done on Sunday. It was brilliant, and I'm from a different tradition, but I'm very pleased to say that I was overjoyed to see what I've seen on Sunday, because it's only Christians united can defeat the Reds, and we've got a big task ahead of us, so no more brothers' wars. Right, first chapter of James. Verse 22, just one verse I'm going to read you. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Great chapter, and we know God will add this, His blessing to this, the public reading of His holy, inspired, inerrant, and infallible word. And that's a great thing. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourself. And can I just tell you, I'm going to go into a rant again about chat rooms and YouTube and all this. This is what it is. We have a whole generation now. When I was a boy, here we go. When I was a boy, and when Nick was a boy, and all of us older fellas, there was no internet. If you wanted to get politically involved, you had to go along, join a party, go to the meetings, go out canvassing, do all that. A couple of years later, you might be invited into certain meetings. And it was an apprenticeship. It was a hard slog, and you're out in the street every single weekend. You get into fights with the Reds and all that. You learned your craft. You learned how to deal with people on the door. And it was like an apprenticeship. You learned your craft. You learned political activity. You learned how to deal with people, how to make leaflets, how to produce them, where to print them, how many you could distribute in an hour. You learned all of that, and you learned how to fight, and you learned how to be pretty tough, because it was a tough gig. However, now, you go on the old YouTube, you set yourself up with a wee page, you sit there and you pontificate, whether you're in your bedroom or you've got a wee studio set up like this. Blah, 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 blah. All day long. All day long. And you're the people listening, all the wee pencil necks and all the wee geeks and some people who should know better, they all tune into this and they go, yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Be ye doers, not hearers, lest you deceive yourself. And that's all they're doing. So people say to me, I'm involved in 5 chat groups. I mean, I'm doing my bit for the country. Really? Really? Interesting. I'm a member of this online party. What do you mean? I do as much as you, Dowson. Do you really? I never seen you in Kosovo. I never seen you in Syria. I never seen you in Lebanon. I wasn't there, but I know Nick was there. But where were you? Where were you in all these places? You're doing as much as us, really, are you? Indeed. I spent 4 hours in a chat room yesterday. I bet you did. Listen, any man who can spend 4 hours in a chat room, there's something wrong. You don't have enough to be occupying your mind in the pursuit of the kingdom of God. But that's another thing that's very common. Most of these people are not Christians. So they don't know where they're going. But they're deceiving themselves. And a lot is born out, and I've got to say this, and I'm sorry if it upsets people. A lot is born out of cowardice. They are cowards. So they hide behind chat rooms. They hide behind online groups. But they won't actually do anything because they're cowards. Now, unlike the Irish boyos, let me see now. Let me see. Now I'm going to show you some pictures here of the Big McConnell and Sean the Heron, which means seed of the Irish, on Sunday. Are they up? Yep. There we go. That's at the Michael Collins, Bell-na-Blah. I think that's how you pronounce it. Excuse me if I didn't pronounce it correctly. But look at those wonderful flags at the front, and the boys there all doing it. So they did it. They laid a huge wreath in memory of General Michael Collins, who used to live 4 miles from my family. My family had to flee and move out of the Republic of Ireland because Collins was only 4 miles away. But that was 100 years ago, people. So my family and my wife's family were burned out of house and home by General Collins' forces. Let's make no mistake about it. Our grandfathers were blown out the police station in an attack. Yes, So I'm not some stupid idiot that people say to me in Belfast, oh, it's all right for you talking about reconciliation, Jim. What have you suffered? Well, my family were burned out of their homes in the 1920s, and so were my wife's. Yes, lost everything, everything. And I've been blown up several times in the Troubles. I've been shot at. I've been all this carry on. But listen, we have to move on in life. And that is a great display. Look at so they laid the big wreath. They marched down the street singing, "Oh, Roshikava, how will ya?" The old flying column song. I shouldn't be so happy about it because half the flying columns are probably coming from my family at the time. But anyway, that was then, this is now. So they marched down the street in a sight never been seen for many a year. Then they presented a big wreath. And then they went up there very dignified and all knelt. Everybody knelt down and done decades of the rosary. Incredible, because they're Catholic people. And then they had marvellous speeches, and then they marched away again. And being in Ireland, they went to the pub. A wonderful day and a great display. And it shows you that Ireland, as Mr. McConnell said, let the word go out from here today. The Irish are rising. Era Abu. And that, I would say, Ulad Abu. Ulster's rising as well. In fact, Le Monde, I know I'm mixing languages here. Le Monde Abu. The world is rising. So, and the world, we need to be forever. There you go. There's another picture. I think, 1 minute, I'll show you. And now there's my good friend in there, Can Dub. I think she was there. I'm sure she was there. That's a fine woman from Dublin, you know. Look at them all marching down the street. Now, there's no thousands of people there, but you don't understand. Ireland has had their history completely rubbed out. Any display of nationalism or Catholicism has been jumped on, not by the Brits. They're gone 100 years ago. Not by the Prods. They're up north. There's no Protestants there. By the Irish Catholic elite and the political classes. You're either derided or you're put off the street. Well, these people have said, you're not putting us off the street. We are marching for Christ. And I know for a fact they've now got a big 3.5-foot Virgin Mary. And they're going to start the holy processions again. God bless you, lads. Obviously, it's not for me to take part in them, but I wish I could. But I wish you all the very best and good luck and Godspeed, each and every one of you. Okay, I want to get into this. Now, somebody was asking something there. Don't know. Let's see. Oh, aye. Somebody was asking about uploading your Discord. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Now, it may have been further. I don't know anything, but don't ask me technical things. I had no idea. Now, I'm going to take you to America now. Shocking story. Officer makes shocking comment about a 5-year-old white boy executed by African-American guy. Now, this is this wee cute kid who cycled over his neighbour's yard and the guy pulled out a gun and just executed him. Cold blood. Shot him through the head. Allegedly, this fella here. Well, another African-American New Jersey law enforcement officer who said a 5-year-old shooting victim should have ducked, has been suspended. Fox News reported detention officer Rome Smith of the Cumberland County Juvenile Detention Centre made the comment on Facebook regarding the August the 9th shooting in North Carolina that left Cannon Hinnon dead. Can you imagine this? Imagine if that was your wee boy. I've had kids at 5, they're cute as anything, and a guy just shoots him through the head. Probably blew half his head off. Closed coffin. Horrible business. And another guy who's a law enforcement officer actually cracked that comment. He should have ducked. Really? I wish I had him in the room. He'd need to duck. Smith, 49, wrote, "You should have ducked. Y'all," I've got to do this in ghetto language, "y'all always trying to sneak, diss and discredit a black person being killed innocently by police. Blame Cannon's parents for not watching him." What a scumbag. Yeah, of course it wouldn't have said that if he was the same skin colour as him. Some believe the killing was racially motivated. No kidding. Surely not. Who would have thought it? NJ.com reported nothing, noting that the victim was white and the alleged shooter is black. Shocking. In a statement that did not identify Smith by name, county officials confirmed the suspension and condemned the remarks as shockingly insensitive and racist in tone. The New Jersey newspaper reported. I think it's disgraceful. I think it's sickening. I think it's a level of horrific barbarism and ignorance that beggars belief. I don't care if that wee boy was black, white, yellow, purple with green spots. It doesn't matter. It's a 5-year-old wee kid playing on his bike and a man blows his head off at close range outside his own house. Can you imagine the anguish and pain the parents and all that? And other people are saying, who cares? Should have ducked. This is why I tell you, America is fast falling into a bad place. A very bad place. And we've said it before. If Donald Trump wins the election, which is by no means a certainty, the left will go mad and America will become ungovernable. And we don't know what's going to happen. If Donald Trump loses the election, good night, Vienna. Good night, Vienna. Who knows what's going to happen? But whatever happens, America's caught between a rock and a hard place. And whatever way it goes, it ain't going to be good. And it's going to be like things we've never seen before. And we, people who look like me, are going to be the victims. We're going to be the hunted. We're going to be the oppressed. And people who, like me, worship the cross are going to be doubly hunted and doubly persecuted. So if you're a white Christian, look out. Look out. They're going to come for us. They're going to come for us. As a Templar, I say, come looking. We are waiting. Don't worry about it. We'll be here. We won't be going anywhere. We'll be here waiting for you. Don't worry about that. But it's going to get bad, and it's going to get bad very quickly. Now, I want to show you a couple of things. Good news is, we're beginning to be able to move again in the Priory. Our Priory is quite a big place, but it's not that big. And it's been inundated. We had another batch of weapons come in yesterday. And they've been going out wild. So everybody who's been waiting on one of these, they're all gone. Every single last order of these vicious, vicious things. I mean, this is as vicious as it gets, folks. I mean, this is solid steel. Solid, high carbon steel. It's a monstrous thing with a chain. I don't know if you can see that chain wrapped round and round it. You see that? Yeah, I think you can. It's all wrapped round there. Is that annoying your ears? Techie brother. It's a vicious, vicious thing. And these things. So, you know, they're all going out. They're flying out the door. Flying out the door. So there you go. The other thing is these big jobs. Good grief. Can I lift this thing? These are all going out this week. So you'll have them. These Templar things. Giant things. Very heavy, very substantial. The good news is we've got some more of them coming. So please, if you want one of these, get them now. Yes, sadly we had to put it up a wee bit in price, but it's still about $100 cheaper than you can buy them anywhere, anywhere at all online. So get them from us. The money goes to a good cause. This is all metal, all steel, all steel. The whole body of the figure is steel. The saddle, everything. It's absolutely, it's breathtaking. But it is a pride of place thing. It's a centrepiece for your house. And it's available in 4 payments, so it's not going to kill anybody. But please get them while they can be got. Because I think there'll probably be another lockdown and we won't be able to get them again. So please avail yourself of that. Now, before I go on to my next story, which is quite a big story for Americans, it's all about the federal aid and how people are struggling financially. And by the way, that's why we're breaking all these down into payments. You know, every time we break things down into payments, there's all these charges and all the rest of it, but we don't care because we know people want stuff, but they're a bit tight at the moment. Everybody is. I know how my own life has been affected with a lockdown and other people. So anything we can do to help you make things a bit easier, we'll do it. And never ever be afraid to lift the phone and say, listen, I would like one of them, but I'd like to take it over X, Y, Z, or could you put one by for me for next month? There is no problem. We're here to do that. It's not a big deal. We're the Templars, we're brothers, we're sisters together. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll sort you out. And many people on here already know that because we've dealt with most people on this chat. And everybody knows the score. We're decent, we're good to deal with, and you're very good to us. And it's a mutual thing because we have mutual respect and love as Christian brothers and Christian fighters. So never ever feel backward at coming forward. If you need some, let us know. Okay, let's see. I want to show you a wee video. Who wants to see a wee video of how we're getting on out the back with the chapter house? If I get time? Yeah. Let's do it. This is about a 6-minute video, so bear with us. Have a wee look at this. It's just knocked up. Are you filming me there? Oh dear. As you can see, I'm up the ladders here. Boys are just doing this building work for the chapter house. As you can see, these stones, these are very old, back a long time. Been in this current location for about 400 years. But as I say, many of these stones go back to the time of St. Patrick and certainly time of the Abbey of the Cistercians. Now what we've done is we've cleared this area of the old building, basically fallen down. So we took it down, but we've cleared it. And this is going to be the chapter house. The chapter house is a place where people can come and sit and read. We keep records and all this stuff. Priory's over there. We've got this. This is the church building over here, as you can see. So we have the church building over here. And if you come over with me, I'll show you roughly what we're looking at. These dressed stones here were originally taken from the old Cistercian Abbey, which was built in 1199, believe it or not. I know it's quite incredible, especially for Americans to believe. But that was built on top of the church that St. Patrick, yes, the real St. Patrick built in the 430s. That's 430 AD. That's, right at the beginning of the Christian church. So those stones then, a lot of them were incorporated into the Cistercian monastery. King Henry done away with that. They were into buildings like this, which at one point 400 years ago was a small prayer house. We are turning this back into what it should be, a place of great holiness and reverence. And this is going to be the chapel for the glorious dead members of the order. Can have their plaques in there, their urns in there, and be remembered. Their families can come here. They'll come into the chapter house. They can learn all about their ancestors, and then they can go in and make their devotions in the chapel. There'll be a lovely altar in there with 2 Templar flags above it, a permanent red light in memory of all our members who've died, and that'll all be in there. So we're going to put a medieval door on here with a Gothic arch. This is going to have a small Templar window in here. This will be covered over. It'll all be covered over with some brass fittings. This here, this brick top area, this brick top window here is a Gothic. There's a Gothic window going in there with our Lord Jesus Christ as the Good Shepherd with the sheep around his neck. Another interesting thing with the priory here, it's quite a big, it's a reasonable sized priory. We'll be able to sleep about 12 to 15 people. We'll have the church here, the chapter house here. And down the back here, if you just follow me. I don't have the key, but the brother can film through there. We have about a 300-foot long garden. That's 100 yards garden with lovely, mature, very old apple trees and hedging and everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful garden for people to come and sit. And we make a section a wee bit off it as a little garden of remembrance with a memorial stone or something like that, just for Templars in general. We may well do that, but it's a beautiful garden. It's in the beautiful Irish countryside, and it's something rather special. So it's not just the priory and the religious buildings. We have a huge garden, which is very, very nice. I don't know if you can see that apple tree. Can you see that apple tree, brother? Look at it, festooned with apples. It is absolutely beautiful. So God has been very good to us, giving us this location, and it's our duty and responsibility to make the most of it, given where we're going in the uncertain times. And if you just follow me around here, see these lovely dressed stones, unbelievable, 1,000 years old. This old staircase is going away. This window here, right all the way down to here, so 7 feet, will be a big Gothic Knights Templar stained glass window. And here, there'll be another one cut out. So there'll be 2 Knights Templar windows there, stained glass, allowing the light to go into the small chapel. The chapel's rammed full of stuff at the moment, but it's just a very simple, understated chapel because we are the poor knights and we don't like ostentatious. We're not the Jesuits, we're not Eastern Orthodox. We like everything very, very plain, simple and understated, and that's what we're going to do. And it's quite surprising, there's a building right next door to us. Right next door to us is actually a church, another church. It's a Plymouth Brethren church, so we don't go there. But it's a nice environment. We've got the priory here, and we've got this religious expanse outside. And behind here, we're going to have another couple of little small stores and things like that. So it's a great project, it's wonderful, it's for all of us, because in the whole world we've been picked to keep the sacred relics of our dead members. So if you're dead, your family can use a special courier service that we're going to set up with UPS. They're the only people that do it, to send your remains here, and your family will know where you are. And it's a great honour for the priory in Ireland, St Donald's Priory, that out of all the priories in the world, we have been given the responsibility to keep your memory and your remains in this chapel. And of course there'll be prayers in there every day. And I'm a Protestant, I don't pray for the dead or anything like that, but some people do, it's up to them. But at least you'll be in there with your fellow brothers for as long as until the Lord comes back. But these walls are like 3 foot thick, solid stone. So it's going to be really nice, and I think it's such an honour to be bestowed upon the Irish Priory. It's an unbelievable honour, and I'd like to thank all the other priories who decided to give us this special honour. It's not the biggest priory, it's not the fanciest priory, so it really is humbling that we have been given this special privilege. So thanks very much to everybody who's donating, everybody who's putting their hand in their pocket to make this possible. The first phase is this over here. When this is complete in a few weeks, because we don't mess about with Templars, we say we're going to do something, we do it, and then we'll move on to the chapel itself. But remember, we're having to buy windows now and all this stuff, so the costs are going to rack up. But we're doing most of the labour ourselves, so it's not that bad. I mean, somebody said, how can you possibly do that for that money? Because we work for the Lord, and the Lord helps us. That's how we can do it. But you can see the progress now, and there's much more to come. So to every single person who's helped us, God bless you, God be with you, and thank you. Amen. There you go. What do you think of that? Yeah, we just threw that together, cobbled it together, just so you can see, because people are giving money, want to see where your money's going. Probity, financial probity is extremely important. But you can see what we're doing, and what was that? Scroll up a wee bit there. I've seen some Unite for Freedom. Where is that? Are the Knights Templar supporting the Unite for Freedom rally in London? No, we're not. No. Because there's people there who think freedom is killing unborn babies. There's people there who think freedom is allowing 2 men to marry. There's people there who think freedom is the right to be able to say whatever you want and to blaspheme the Lord Jesus Christ and his blessed mother. So we will not be there, and we do not support it. There you go. Anyway, I hope you liked that. That's what we're doing. That's what we're up to. And remember, faith without good works is dead. And be not just hearers of the word, be ye doers of the word. And you know, the Templar's been accused of a lot of things over the centuries. 900 years of lies and nastiness thrown at us. One thing we've never been accused of, and that's being people who hear but don't do. The very opposite's true, is we do too much sometimes. But it's a marvellous project. There's no working on the day because we had a horrible storm last night. Honestly, I live in a shed. I thought my shed was going to lift off. It was going to be Dorothy. It was unbelievable, and it's just been raining incessantly. Trees are down, power lines are down, the roads are flooded. I had to turn back today and go a different way to the Priory because there was flooding everywhere. So there's no working on the day, but it's still going on. And if you can, please, I would urge you, help this thing done, because the price of these Gothic things and all that, we're doing everything on the cheap. We're using reconstituted stone. We're doing everything. I'm a Scotsman, and I'm one of the ones in charge of the procurement. So I'll fight someday for $1 when it comes to the Lord's work, because that we're meant to be good stewards. But even with that ferocious Scots attitude, it still costs. So if you can, please donate if you haven't already done so. To those who have done so, God bless you and God bless your household. It's much appreciated. So I'll leave it with you. Now I want to get into this story quickly because time's against us. This is something that a lot of people are picking up on now. 61% of Americans are awaiting more federal aid to help pay bills. People are beginning to struggle a wee bit. Now, this is a survey that's just come out. A new survey finds 6 in 10 people feel they won't be able to make ends meet without more federal assistance. Now, let me just be very clear here. I know the Americans are the most independent-minded folk on earth. They want to be left alone to go on with their life. They ask for nothing and they take nothing. I know that. The Americans are not a nation of spongers or scroungers. The Americans are probably the most independent-minded people on God's earth. I've been there many times and know them. It's a strong, strong spirit of independence. But why shouldn't they get help? The government shut their companies down. The government's took their jobs away because of some non-existent COVID farce, hoax. So the government have to then step in and try and replace what they've took. Absolutely. And nobody should have a bit of shame about putting their hand out and say, okay, you shut my company down, pay me. If you want to go along with this COVID farce, that's fine, but pay me. Pay me for the privilege of indulging your fantasies. Don't make me suffer for your stupidity and lunacy. So don't think you're taking money when you shouldn't be. You're entitled to it because these nutters who run our countries have destroyed the economy on some whim of a non-existent kung flu. So you're entitled to the money and take it. The latest survey by Magnify Money reveals 61% of the country needs another relief bill. to pay for expenses. Over 80%, this is interesting, over 80% of the workers who have been laid off or furloughed due to COVID-19 are counting on more assistance. The poll in America adds 71% of Generation X, that's those aged 40 to 54, it's almost me, and 65% of millennials aged 24 to 39 say they are currently in financial distress. Researchers reveal 81% of Democrats and 78% of Republicans agree Congress needs to reach a deal on more stimulus payments. Republicans are slightly worse in financial shape, with 2/3 saying they personally need another relief bill. 63% of the Democrats are hoping for more government assistance to make ends meet. You know, that would bear out what I've always suspected. It's the Liberals, it's the lefties, it's the Democrats who are the people now with the money. They're the middle-class, purple-haired civil servants, government workers who they're getting paid anyway. It's the independent-minded Republicans who work for themselves, small businessmen, farmers, decent, God-fearing people, the actual backbone of America, who are receiving very little. And that's what's going on, and it's unfair. It's unfair. So I hope that the House pushes through a stimulus project and some payments, and that people get those payments fairly and they're distributed timely so that people would not suffer unduly, because it's a completely unfair thing that's happening. And, you know, I actually don't really believe in the welfare state. I've got to say that. But this isn't the welfare state. If a man comes and smashes my window, he should pay for it. So if the government smash your business and smash your livelihood, they should pay for it. Again, I don't really believe in the welfare state. But this is nothing to do with the welfare state. This is your taxes that you paid for years being used in an appropriate manner, giving you money back because you've done nothing wrong. These lunatics have said COVID's dangerous and shut everyone down, so they should pay you. Absolutely, I'm very strong on it. And I am a strong, independent Christian capitalist. And I use that word very carefully, because what we have now masquerading as capitalism is not capitalism. It's thievery, it's robbery, it's big bank gangsterism. I'm talking about standing your own 2 feet, making your own produce, selling it or bartering it and doing a deal with the man next door, and that's proper capitalism. Not banks printing money and doing quantitative easing. That is not capitalism. That is hoodwinking people. That is jiggery pokery. That is dishonest, and it's Talmudic, and we know where it comes from. It's wrong. And it's not capitalism, so don't ever think that is capitalism. It's not. And the veterans, yeah, William Petit brings a good point up there. What about the veterans? Yeah, what about the veterans? Who's looking after them? Nobody's looking after them. But some kid at 15 can have 4 or 5 kids and get all the welfare wanted in the world. Yeah, a man who's been out and fought and defended his country and been perhaps injured, and maybe even his personal life fell apart because he's been away fighting and he's not right. You know, I've been in a war. You're not right after it. You're not right for a long, long time after it, if ever completely right. What about him? Or her, who's coming back from the war and getting nothing but a 14, 15-year-old kid from the hood who's got 2 kids to 2 different daddies, baby daddies, and getting everything handed on a plate. It is not right. That's it. I don't care if they're black, white or yellow. It makes no difference. It's not a colour thing. It's not right. People who put stuff into the country, especially veterans who fought for the country, risked their lives and took lives, both have a detrimental effect. They should come first in the pecking order, not the bankers, not Chase Manhattan or Goldman Sachs when it comes to payouts. It's our veterans and our elderly who help build the country. That's who should be number one in the queue if there's anything getting handed out. And I mean that, and I'm fierce about it. I'm fed up with it. Anyway, yeah, Irish soldiers using food blankets. Listen, British soldiers, I've got family in the British Army and they're having to buy boots from the Yanks to go to Afghanistan. They're having to buy kit from the Americans, bulletproof vests, because our army won't issue them. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Your son signs up to go and fight for the British in a war against the Taliban, and he's got to buy a flak jacket off an American guy who's going home, and his boots, because our government won't provide them, or won't provide good quality ones. That's the reality. So that's where we are. Well, that's all we've got time for today. God bless each and every one of you. I thank you for taking the time. I hope you enjoyed the wee film and the chapel thing, and I hope everybody does what they can to help us make this long-term project and dream a reality, because this is done unto the glory of God. No glory unto us, all the glory unto God, and it's fantastic. Well, if the good Lord preserves me, I'll be back tomorrow, or try and have a guest on for you, see what I can organise, okay? And until then, remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do us vault.